Alright, so we back with the segment. Today we about to talk about AI. Today we about to talk to AI about ethics and basically everything I have on my mind concerning ethics because I got an itch, bro. I need to scratch this. No, hold on.
Hey, Jilon.
Try again. Yo,
Yep.
alright. So today I want to talk to you about PR, public relations, and is it ethical to hide stuff from PR?
Public relations definitely walks a fine line. Transparency is key for trust, but sometimes PR involves managing information just to shape perception, not necessarily to deceive. It gets unethical when facts are distorted or crucial information is hidden to manipulate opinions. What sparks your interest in this?
I asked about this because like certain PR, like certain ways how business carry their PR, like let's say the news, like how the news have a bias towards one side. Like the news might be totally Democratic, or might be totally Republic. So it's like, is that really considered good PR or is that like corrupted?
Bias in news isn't necessarily good PR, it's more about serving an agenda. When news leans too much towards a certain side, it can skew public perception, which isn't great for genuine, balanced PR. It becomes corrupt when it's misleading or deceiving to push an agenda. Ethical PR should aim for honesty and balance, even if that's not always the case in practice. How do you feel about the news these days?
I feel like the news most definitely is getting outdated. Well, because it's the legacy media. You know, with Elon Musk and Trump call it legacy because they were passed down from generations. But honestly, I feel like
The
yeah.
tradition
Go ahead.
I hear you. Traditional media does feel outdated to some, especially with the rise of digital platforms. People now prefer getting news from diverse online sources. And with social media, everyone can be a content creator, so the traditional gatekeepers of news have less control. There's a push for more direct and varied sources of information. What do you think this shift means for the future of news?
Well, I think a lot of stuff is going to come to light. Like you cannot hide behind you know your friends anymore. You cannot hide behind handshakes. You can't hide behind gestures or favors anymore because everybody's watching. Everybody has eyes somewhere. So it's like to really in it. I feel like in general it gives off a weird energy when you do weird shit. So like when you do weird shit, you're gonna have that type of energy on you, but that's not the case every time. You know what I'm saying? Because people, it's not the case. But for me,
Totally get it. In today's world, transparency is unavoidable. Social media and the internet make it harder to hide shady dealings. If someone puts out bad vibes or acts shady, it will catch up to them. It's about accountability, and digital eyes are everywhere. But yeah, it's not always black and white. Everyone perceives things differently. Curious if we think this change is good or bad.
I think this change at first is going to be chaotic. Like a lot of people, honestly, I think we're heading in the right direction. Um, I don't think it's going to be chaotic. I think it takes conscious people to understand the reality that they're living in. And I think that's the biggest part about it, having people to be more conscious about the reality that they're living in.
Absolutely. It's all about consciousness and awareness. This shift is pushing people to be more aware of the world they live in, discerning about their information sources and the authenticity of what they're told. Though it might create some disruption initially, the end goal could be a more informed and conscious society. Do you think people are ready to embrace this change?
I think ready or not, people are going to have to embrace it to begin with. Like, you cannot be just like a regular old abusive father in a household anymore, unless you haven't bought your children phones or something like that. But it's possible. But I think like a lot of family abuse You can speak up about it. All you have to do is grab a phone and record it. You know what I'm saying? But it's not that easy for people because people do, get into like love and hate relationships with their parents or stuff like that. So it's kind of hard. But I really go into that because I talk about PR and business PR and like how different organizations hide stuff from public.
It's true. Technology makes it harder to hide things, whether in families or businesses. Social media and smartphones have given people a platform to share their experiences, which can force accountability. PR in business often tries to manage perceptions, but when organizations hide things, it can backfire big time in the digital age. It's a complex landscape. How do you think organizations should handle this shift?
I think organizations need to be more open and honest with people, but that's I feel like because the reason why I really do talk about this because at my heart, at my core, Scientology, bro. You're not like since Scientology, bro. I just feel like you have a lot of different other religions just like that. I mean, and not in the sense of like the information Scientology gives, but I mean like the way that they treat people, abuse people, or sexually abuse, and they cover it up and stuff like that. Like that's not the first organization that does that, but it's the product that Scientology gives. Like we can give you freedom, and they don't give that. It's like another entrapment. You know what I'm saying? And I hate that. I hate for people to experience that, for to even go into that, and I want to destroy it because like that's not ethical for me to experience it, and then I let somebody else experience it. I feel like that would not be ethical of me.
I hear your passion, Jalon. It's tough seeing organisations, especially ones that claim to offer enlightenment or support, allegedly abusing and exploiting people and then covering it up. Wanting to challenge that is a noble stance. Fighting for an ethical world where people aren't misled or abused is crucial. Do you think there's a way to bring more transparency and justice to such organisations?
Honestly, going against a whole organization is crazy work. Because, like, I'm not a perfect person. All I can do is look at the problem and in the hopes, I can, fix, like, I don't know, I want to make progress towards it. But I'm not a perfect person. So people can find stuff on me like I can find stuff on them. So it's like, I think about this stuff and I think about, like, is it really ethical to just expose this organization and be like, hey, you guys, you're not doing nothing right when you're not doing nothing right. So it's like could you really point the finger at somebody else if you're not doing something good yourself?
That's a deep question, Jalon. It's like, who are we to judge when we've got our own flaws, right? But maybe it's not about being perfect. It's about striving for a better world, even if we're imperfect ourselves. It's more about holding each other accountable and aiming for progress over perfection. What do you think?
Honestly, I agree with you. I think it's about being better. It's getting better.
Exactly. It's about growth and improvement. As long as we're striving to be better and holding ourselves accountable, we're on the right track.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Why do you think governments and business and families cover up bad PR?
They often cover up bad PR to protect their image, maintain power, or avoid consequences. Whether it's a government wanting to stay in control, a business trying to keep profits up, or a family wanting to avoid shame, it's about self-preservation. But with more transparency now, it's getting harder to hide the truth.
Self-preservation. That's pretty deep. I'm in a psychology. Like I'm doing a little psychology course, and it's talk about egoism. So it's like that's in a sense of a category of egoism, where people are just trying to self-preserve themselves, trying to make themselves look good.
definitely connects with egoism, putting one's own interests, image, or survival first. It's a survival instinct, but in the modern world, it can lead to shady dealings and a lack of transparency. Balancing self-interest with ethical behavior is key. How are you finding your psychology course?
I love it. I actually like the reason why I ask these ethical questions is because um, it's like the laws. You know, like to like are these laws really ethical? Like is it really ethical to? It's hard because it's the person themselves. Like you can't force a person to go get a job. You can't force a person to better themselves. You can't force a person. Can't force a horse to drink water. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, is it ethical to really allow it to go on, or is it better to just make it better for them to want to help themselves, want to get a job, want to do things better? Like unless we can continuously call them bums or homeless people. Like what's the real way to fix a situation that makes people depressed or stressed out?
Yeah, you're touching on some deep dilemmas. It's about empowering people, not forcing them. Creating conditions where they feel motivated to change and have access to resources can lead to lasting progress. Just slapping labels or enforcing laws often misses the root causes. It's about understanding and addressing the bigger picture. Keep questioning the ethics. It's how we make progress.
Amen. I also had another thing. Okay, so this goes into law. So when I was looking up law and what law was actually for, law is for people to be safe. It's the like, am I correct about the understanding? Law is created for people to uh, have a
Yeah.
better life. Yeah.
Yeah, ideally, laws should safeguard us and promote well-being. But the intent and the execution don't always align. Sometimes laws reflect power structures rather than the common good. So it's up to society to ensure laws serve everyone. What sparked your curiosity about this?
I'm also in another business law. I'm looking up business law, and I'm like, yeah, that's where it sparked my interest.
Business law is a big topic. It shapes how businesses operate and interact. Understanding it can be powerful, whether you're running a business or just navigating the corporate world. Plus, it ties into ethics like we talked about earlier. What aspect of business law are you diving into?
Well, first we're just getting into the courts and like how the courts handle, you know, the process. So it's just the basic law, not actually like a business law, but just basic law, and how is it formed and where does it come from?
Learning about the courts and basic law is a solid foundation. It helps you understand how legal principles are applied and how disputes are resolved. Law stems from various sources, including statutes legislated by governments and legal precedents set by court rulings. It's a complex system, but crucial for maintaining order and justice. If you've got specific questions about the courts or laws, feel free to ask.
Well, okay, so all right, so the definition I looked up for what a law is supposed to do is supposed to help society get better. But like when you look at the past, like Jim Crow laws or like actual racism, you know what I'm saying? Like, was that ethical, and how did that affect a population? And how did that affect the ethnic group that that they was targeting? Because I feel like the law, right? It's now it's only shaping up to benefit all people. Now that we have more immigrants, more so it's just crazy because like even right now we have ICE raids, right? So it's not it's not black people anymore. It's Mexican people that's fighting for justice. So it's like even with Native Americans, like we rarely hear about Native Americans, and this is their land. Like they're literally called Native Americans, and you rarely hear about them anymore. So it's like what like do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, you're pointing out a lot of disparities and how laws can marginalize certain groups. The system isn't perfect, and it often takes activism and sacrifice to push for change. It highlights the need for continued advocacy for fair treatment. What you're saying reflects on past abuses and the need for society to do better. It's a complex topic, but change starts with conversations like these. Keep questioning and pushing for a better future.
Yeah, I don't know. I like even the whole thing with private property. Like if I pay for something, I want it to be private. But it's like when you think about how this land was created and how it was conquered, it's like people literally like, and it's hard not to talk about it because it's like we're living in an illusion. You know what I'm saying? Like this land was built on blood, tears, and so it's like how do I really sit here and look at that and be like, you know what, I can make this better. We can come at a softer approach without having a lot of animosity or anger towards things that happened in the past.
It's tricky. Dealing with complexities of history, the past is soaked in struggles and injustices, which makes it hard to navigate present realities without acknowledging that pain. Yet, focusing on progress, building understanding, and creating fair systems can lead to change. It's about acknowledging the past while striving for a more ethical future together. How do you feel about finding that balance?
I think it has to be a lot of chaos before that balance is to come, because it's a lot of people that are willfully ignorant, and they know that they're ignorant and they don't give a fuck about educating themselves more. Like, and it's hard to deal with people like that because they make money and they survive, but are they willing to thrive? You know what I'm saying? Like, are they willing to like put themselves in uncomfortable positions, experiencing new things, learn new things? And 9 times out of 10, no, not most people are not like that. They're stuck in their ways. Okay, I guess she stopped talking to me. Hello? Hello? I think I fried. Hello? Hello? She gone, bro. You're not listening anymore. Alright, so I guess we're gonna end the video there. That's my conversation with AI about my ethical PR. And so I think that it can get better. It doesn't have to be bloodshed, chaos. Because in the Bible, it's a prophecy, right? That it's 1,000 years of peace before, the end all be all. But it's 1,000 years of peace, and there's a reason for that. So God, He comes back and He locks Satan up for 1,000 years of peace. Could that be today? I don't know. Could it be? Because honestly, like when I look out in reality and look past the illusion, it's peace in reality. People are organized, and you have, bad shit. Is it wrong for me to only focus on the bad things? Yes, because if I only focus on the bad things, 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna produce good fruit. I'm not gonna produce good things coming from my mind, because I'm gonna have a lot of animosity. I'm gonna have a lot of anger because of I want to blame a government. I want to blame a power system, but in reality, it really be the people that put themselves in that position. But the only reason why I don't think that's the case is because I can look at everything, and I can look at how everything is literally carried over from past trauma, past sins, from what does God call it? Iniquity, because it's passed on in your family. Like if your mom and dad can't get past sexual morality, and they're constantly like, and they're split apart, right? You have a different mom and dad, and they can't get past it. 9 times out of 10, you're probably gonna go through that unless you say, you know what, I'm gonna stop it right here. I'm gonna stop the curse, and I'm not gonna, continue that. I'm gonna actually find something that's helpful, healthy for me. You know what I'm saying? Because like stuff like that is taught at home, and you watch and you observe it at home. But of course, people grow up, they become adults, and they make their own decisions, right? So you can't really blame your parents for everything that you do, but from as a child and to how you perceive the world, is they're basically implanting you with a lot of things, you know, that they probably are not even aware of. So it's like, can I really blame a person that's depressed because they didn't have their mom, or mom was abusive, or dad was abusive, dad was a drink, and like, can you really blame a person that goes through stuff like that? Can you blame the dad that drinks because it's hard? It's a hard life out here. Niggas robbing him, they trying to test him. So it's like, I try to look at every single aspect before I really say, you know what, they're the problem, because nobody really is the problem. It's all about evil, right? Evil is the really main target, because it all started from Adam and Eve, and then on from that, more iniquity, more sin started to get deeper into our blood. So I can't really say it's my parents' fault, because I can't blame them for what they didn't get. You know what I'm saying? But people do make decisions. People are adults and people are conscious. So it's like, I can't say that and be like, okay, like, let's say my mom, she called me on the phone right now, and she called me, hey, bitch ass, and she done it before, so that's why I want to point it out. She was like, hey, bitch ass nigga, what this? I'll be like, first, that's my mom, right? But how I responded in a way that she came to me. And so I gotta get this off my chest, because in a sense, like, not everything is, it's trauma fault. You literally make a choice. And it's hard, because like, everything is stemming from you as a child. Because every single decision, every single thought, stuff, it leads up to like your dreams. Like, when you wake up, like, what do you want from today? It's still like, if you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. Like, you don't just wake up in the morning and become a whole new person. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you just not earn a whole new person because you turn 17, because you turn 18. You still have baggage that you're carrying. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can't really blame my mom, but I could, like, damn, why would she even come to me like that? Or why would I even respond to her like that? Like, I had a choice not to respond to her. I could have just hung up the phone. You know what I did? I responded, and which made it more worse for me, because at the sense, I'm a man now. Alright, like, so it's like, it's stuff like that. It gets real tricky, because you don't want to blame people for being evil, but at the same time, people constantly choose evil again and again and again. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to say. It's like, I don't want to blame YN niggas from shooting up each other, robbing shit, but because they don't have nothing at home. But that's their decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a decision. I stay here. I figure out. I get book smart. I study up. I look at the different opportunities I have before I go mess up whatever opportunities I don't see at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, they made the decision to mess up their life, and I made a decision to just be patient, be lame. It's like that, and I can't really blame the YNs, because, like, let's say if their mom was on crack and she couldn't really provide food, so they had to do what they had to do to go do it. So it's like, it's like that, bro. That's why it's so difficult to really judge, like, if something is ethical or morality, because it's really based on, like, what you were given as a person. Like I can't shame you. I can't just like even God feels that way. Like I can't really judge people if they didn't even know better, right? Like, if they didn't know better, well, how can I judge them? So even God feels that way. Like until you know and you have the knowledge, you're not going to be held accountable. And honestly, I like. Let me backtrack on that because it's a lot, bro. It's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit. I'm sorry, but let me backtrack on it. It's like you still will be held accountable for your ignorance, right? Because people say ignorance is bliss. So like even if you're ignorant to it, you know, you get away with it. That's not true. You know, just because you're ignorant and you don't know better doesn't mean you're gonna, you know, suffer. Doesn't mean you're gonna get cursed. You know what I'm saying? Because when we look at reality objectively and not subjectively, for every action there's a reaction, you know. And this is why God is important, because it's not like that all the time. Miracles happen every day. Miracles actually really do happen every day, but we don't look at it as that, because we want a miracle to be God, you know, doing his most miraculous miracles. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to see something like him splitting water again, or we want to see like the sun not show up for 3 days or something like that. But it's like little small miracles that happen. Like you don't know how something's going to get paid, and some magically a guy comes by and he's like, man, hey, I can do this. Like I got this money for you if you can do this for me. And it's something like, and it's shit like that. It blows my mind because it's like it's them small things that happen through a life that God shows. Like I remember, bro, like the time when I'm literally in a room and I'm sitting here like, bro, I don't want to spend my last $20 on fucking DoorDash, but I need to eat and I need to get up and I need to be like, and so like I'm saying like, God, you know what God will tell me, bro? Have fun, spend your money. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you that back. It's not in a sense like he's gonna actually like walk and give me money, but he's gonna present me opportunities to move my feet, right, and to do the work so I can receive what I need. Now people's like, not like, I'm sorry, like it's kind of different because people look at that like, but it's just you. It's just you. It's not God. That's just you using your mind, using your intelligence, using your brain to do what you need to do. That's not God. You know what I'm saying? But it's the thought process I have. It's the faith. It's the belief I have because, man, bro, I'm like, I gotta make another video. Because it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain to somebody about faith. Like the reason why you have faith is like, man, I'm gonna end it here, bro. Hopefully, I'm gonna end it here. But it's hard to explain faith. I can't really teach somebody how to have faith. You know what I'm saying? Cause like, I'm still like a little baby in my faith. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to leave my grandma's house and get my own place. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep working. I don't know if my truck's still gonna be running to you know, so I can get to work. I don't know none of that shit. I'm just having faith that shit, everything is gonna work out how it's supposed to, because you know it's times where it didn't work out how it's supposed to. My truck stopped, shit, you know, accidents or something like that. So it's like I can't show you. I wish I can like physically show you faith, but honestly, I wish I don't, because the journey and the process of having faith and trusting in God is a beautiful process. It really is. It's a beautiful process, because like these past, like, just I've been struggling a lot still with lust, like, and I've been trying to, like, you know what, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna go over there. I'm not gonna put myself in a position. I wish I can tell people everything, bro, but I can't. I can't tell people everything. You know, I can't tell people everything, but I wish I could, but I can't. So, I'm it off right there. If you guys haven't already, like, subscribe, put the notification bells on, and type in the comment section, bro, give me another video, and I will make another video. Right? I need some type of feedback from you guys, and if not, that's fine. I just thank you for watching this far. You got to the end. You're able to see this. So have a nice day. Hope y'all have a good, what is it, Wednesday? Thursday?